Let's just jump right in. Take a look at this number. By 2034, this is the projected value of a new financial system. We're talking over $1.5 trillion. And it's growing at a mind-blowing rate of more than 50% every single year.
So what is it? Well, it's called decentralized finance, or DeFi for short. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what this new financial frontier is and how the absolute titans of Wall Street are building a bridge to it, fast.
You see, for the established world of finance, DeFi is this irresistible new territory. It's a fundamental paradigm shift that promises to completely re-engineer how money moves, how we trade assets, and really who gets access to the global financial system in the first place.
At its heart, DeFi is all about creating a peer-to-peer system for finance. So instead of having to go through a bank or a broker, transactions happen directly between you and another person. All of it secured and automated by blockchain technology. No more middlemen.
And this system, it operates on a completely different set of rules. It's decentralized, so there's no single company or CEO in charge. The code is open source, so anyone can check it for fairness and security. It all runs autonomously on these things called smart contracts. And this is the cool part. It's composable. People call them money Legos because you can just snap different financial services together to create new things super fast. And maybe most importantly, you control your own assets. It's a massive revolutionary shift from how things have always been done.
And the advantages? They're just staggering. I mean, by cutting out all those intermediaries, transaction costs can be slashed by 60 to 80%. And settlement times, they just plummet. A trade that takes days in the old system can happen in just a few seconds. And access becomes global and permissionless for basically anyone with an internet connection. Okay, to really wrap your head around this change, let's put the two systems right next to each other. The contrast is pretty stark, and it really shows you why this technology is so incredibly compelling. So the core differences are just striking. Traditional finance, or TradFi, is centralized. It's heavily regulated, and it pretty much operates on business hours, 9 to 5. DeFi, on the other hand, is peer-to-peer, largely unregulated, and it runs 24/7. But look at innovation. TradFi is slow, it's steady, you get these standardized products. DeFi enables what people are calling programmable money, which allows for this explosion of rapid, almost infinite product creation. But, and this is a big but, this new frontier is not without its dangers. For big, regulated institutions, the Wild West of pure DeFi is just filled with risks they simply cannot afford to take.
So that begs the question, right? If DeFi is so great, why isn't every bank on the planet already using it? And this gets to the very heart of the problem that the world's biggest financial players are trying to solve right now.
You see, the roadblocks for these institutions are huge. The anonymous nature of a lot of DeFi, for example, creates massive headaches for compliance. We're talking about those anti-money laundering and know your customer rules that legally require firms to know exactly who they're doing business with. You add to that the risk of buggy code, major hacks, confusing governance, and this giant cloud of regulatory uncertainty, and you start to see why the big guys have been hesitant to just jump in with both feet.
And this is where the story gets really interesting. Instead of just avoiding DeFi, these institutions are building a bridge, a safe, regulated way to connect the old world of finance with the new.
I want you to meet Institutional DeFi. Now, this is not about replacing the old system. Think of it as a hybrid model. It's designed to bring all that speed and innovation from DeFi into a controlled environment that has all the security and compliance that institutions absolutely need. It's literally the best of both worlds. So how do you build this bridge? Well, it basically comes down to 3 key design choices. First, you pick the right blockchain. Some are totally public, others are permissioned, meaning only approved people can get in. Second, you set the rules of the game. Who gets to participate and how, making sure everyone is verified. And third, you standardize the tokens that represent the assets, creating a common language so everything can talk to each other smoothly.
And the key piece of magic that makes this all possible is something called real-world asset tokenization, or RWA. This is literally the process of taking a traditional asset, like a bond or a share in a fund or even a piece of real estate, and creating a digital version of it, a token, that can live and be traded on a blockchain. It's how you get old-school value into this new digital world.
And the appetite for this, it is absolutely enormous. A 2022 survey from Celent found that a massive 91% of institutional investors are already interested in these tokenized assets. The demand is there, it's huge, and it's just waiting for the infrastructure to catch up.
And look, this isn't just some theory or a PowerPoint presentation. The biggest names in finance are already pioneering this space. They're proving that institutional DeFi is happening right here, right now.
Take JP Morgan, a prime example. Through their Onyx platform, they have already processed over $900 billion in tokenized assets, using this tech for things like instant loan settlements. That's not a test run. That is real, massive value moving on these new rails today.
Then you've got BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world. They launched a fund called BUIDL, which tokenizes U.S. treasuries and puts them directly on the public Ethereum blockchain. This is a massive vote of confidence. It shows that even public, open networks can be used for institutional-grade products when they're designed correctly.
Collaboration is also a huge part of the story. You've got Goldman Sachs and BNY Mellon teaming up to tokenize shares of a money market fund on Goldman's own digital asset platform. This proves that the incumbents aren't just competing, they're actually working together to build out this new ecosystem.
And this collaboration goes way beyond just corporate deals. We're seeing huge global initiatives led by regulators and central banks. You've got Project Guardian in Singapore, Project Mariana from the Bank for International Settlements. They are all actively testing these concepts to basically write the rule book for the future of finance.
So, okay, we've seen the what, the why, and the who. Let's wrap up with the how. What does the path forward actually look like for any institution trying to navigate this totally transformed landscape?
Well, the roadmap is becoming pretty clear. Institutions need a single, holistic strategy for digital assets. They have to prioritize the tokenization of real-world assets. They need to invest in people with these new skills. They've got to collaborate across the industry. And maybe most importantly, they have to actively engage with regulators to help shape the rules of the game. This right here, this is the playbook for the next decade of finance.
And all of this leads us to one final, really provocative question. As these walls between traditional finance and decentralized finance start to blur, are we watching the end of banking as we've always known it? Or is this simply its next, and maybe its greatest evolution? That, my friends, is the billion, or maybe I should say the trillion-dollar question.